Welcome to another session of Affirmations and Reflection. I am Belkis Clark Mitchum. My spirituality is my foundation, and I say that repeatedly. I say it wherever I go, and I remind myself often. Every time I say it, it reinforces it, and it reminds me of what for me. When it seems as if I am drifting, it brings me back to my center. So, yes, my spirituality is my foundation. I rely on my spirituality to guide my approach to new situations because it promotes positive outcomes in life. My spirituality involves identifying and upholding values that are important to me. My values are Bible based, Christian based for the most part. So living according to these values, they produce consistency in life. Although the outcome of situations in life are unpredictable, my response to each situation is predicted by what I value. Honesty surrounds um, the core of one of my spiritual existence. It allows me to approach new situations with a peace of mind. It isn't about the people are going to be honest. It's about the fact that I would be honest, that if I'm asked something, I would give to the best of my knowledge my most honest answer. If I feel a certain way, I'm going to say this is how I feel. You can be honest but kind, but you can be honest nonetheless. And honesty, so therefore honesty is important to me. It guides how I approach new situation. It guides how I approach all situations. It guides how I treat others, how I interact, because it is important to me. When I commit to being honest, I avoid becoming emotionally overwhelmed by the possible outcomes of a situation. Being committed to honest living, it helps to clear my mind of doubts and stress. It allows me to be a little bit more accepting of what happens, because honesty isn't just about my way of thinking, my way of doing, my way of believing, my way of hoping. A lot of what I said, I believe, is based on what the Bible says. My Christian beliefs, they are core to that. And I believe that we need to speak to each other in love and in truth. We need to interact that way. And that is how I approach my situations, honestly, openly, trusting God all the way. And my values underscore my my relationship my relationship with my coworkers, my relationship with clients, my relationships with my family, my friends. My values are the things that will come out first and foremost, that helps to cultivate these relationships and how I interact with individuals. I commit to being kind. I commit to being transparent with them, and to being open to their perspective. Do we always agree? No, but I can respect a different perspective. I can respect a opinion, a different belief, a different way of being. Now, although sometimes I slip up in the heat of the moment, I do, and I can get very passionate about certain things, and I have to remind myself sometimes, step back, allow the other person to be, hear them in their context. So I get a little bit in the moment. I get caught up sometimes, but even though I get caught up, I'm able to acknowledge my error. That's important to me, because I don't ever believe anybody is always right all the time about anything. I believe it's also important to let individuals know, hey, I misunderstood, I misinterpreted, I did not give you a chance. I acknowledge that is important to me based on my values. And it is easy for me to apologize for acting against my spiritual beliefs, because I committed to my creator, who is the guiding power over my life. And tough decisions are easy for me once I rely on my value system in the decision making process. Now, it don't mean that I always like making tough decisions. It don't mean I find it appealing. It means that when I get past the emotional, I don't want to, and I start to make decisions based on my values, then it becomes easier for me to make the tough decisions. And it is easy for me to do that because I consistently practice my values. They are part and they are like core to who I am. As my grandmother used to say, they are part and parcel, meaning the whole thing of who I am, part and parcel of who I am. I avoid complicating my life too much by sticking to my values. Do my values some as I grow? I find myself that I've included certain things, and then there are some things that I just dropped because they did not serve me, and I was okay with it. So today, I treasure, I treasure my spiritual foundation. I truly do. I am happy to have a foundation that brings me peace and keeps my actions consistent and takes into account others. I am grateful to my maker that I am being taught daily how to apply these values, how to expand upon them, how to go upon them, how to have them serve not just myself, but to serve others as well in the expansion of the kingdom. As you approach your day, your evening, wherever you are in your life, your situations, I pray that you will know your values, identify them, write them down, put them out there. And when you're faced with decisions, it could be the smallest decision to the biggest decisions, new situations in life, that you would pull up these values and you would look at them. And when you take a step forward, make sure it's always based on your values. You would be more at peace, you would feel more authentic, more true. And your relationship with God will just keep growing phenomenally. And as we reflection, as we go all separate ways, and I'm grateful for you joining me, I would like for you to think about a couple. How do new experiences affect the spiritual foundation? So think about it. How do new experiences affect my spiritual foundation? How easy is it for me to stick to what I believe when situations get challenging? You need to ask yourself this. Write out your answers if you need to. Get honest with yourself. How easy it is to stick to to what you believe when situations get challenging. And the last one I would like for you to really consider and reflect is, how do you know when it's time to alter your belief system? This has been another session of affirmation and reflection with Belkis Clark Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining me.